What's up, guys? How's it going? I started reading a lot of YouTube comments last night, which is always a curious thing to do because it's fascinating. But I realized that there's a lot of common misconceptions. People are very curious about my financial situation. Growing up my entire life, I was told there's these certain steps that you have to reach. So you graduate from high school and immediately you go to college where you get a good degree. You graduate, you get a job. Then you get married, you buy a house, you have 2.3 kids, you work for the same company for 30 years, collect your retirement, live out your retirement, and you die. And that window of retirement, that is the moment where you get to enjoy life. I followed that trend to an extent. I graduated from high school, which I feel like that is actually a very good thing to do. You should do that. You should graduate from high school. Education is a positive thing. I went to college, I went to Oregon State University, go Beavers. I got a degree in accounting and finance. Now, the reason I got a degree in accounting and finance wasn't because I want to work in public accounting. The reason I did that is because I have this dream of opening up my own business someday, and I feel like accounting is sort of the foundation of business, and if you understand accounting principles, you'll be successful. And so that's why I did it. But at the same time, if my business were to fail someday, accounting is a great degree to fall back on because accountants are needed around the world. They make pretty good money as well. So that's why I went into accounting and finance. But when I graduated from college, I had no intent of going and becoming a lifelong career accountant. That was never the plan. Now, obviously I worked in accounting because I didn't have any financial resources to start a business when I graduated from college because I don't come from a rich family. I mean, the house I was born in, I was born at the hospital, but the house that I lived in when I was a baby, I shared the same room with 3 of my brothers. We were renting it. Like, it was this tiny little house in Newport, Oregon. Then we moved to Bend, Oregon. The house that my parents still live in, it's nothing fancy. It's a nice house. Like, I'm very thankful I'm so thankful. Like, Mom and Dad, I love you. Like, you guys have. So, it wasn't cheap to service my Lamborghini at 30,000 miles, and that's true, it wasn't. But the comments are intriguing to say the least. So, there was a misconception in that video. So it's $4,000 annual servicing on the Gallardo. Now, toward the end of that video, I said that I was going bankrupt. That was me being sarcastic. I was kind of just, $4,000 is a lot of money. You guys know I'm not some mega wealthy Lamborghini owner. $4,000 is a lot of money, but I'm not going bankrupt. I think of you guys as my buddies. Like, I talk to you guys just like I would any of my friends, and you know, like, I would just walk up to a buddy of mine and say, dude, it was $4,000 to service my car. I'm like going bankrupt. And that, I'm not going bankrupt. I was just being sarcastic. 4,000 is a lot of money because I went to Europe this past summer. I was there for 6 weeks. The entire trip was $5,000. And so when I see $4,000, that's kind of what I compare it to. And I went to Europe for 6 weeks. And this was just an annual servicing on the Gallardo. So it was a lot of money, but financially, I'm actually in the best shape of my entire life. So I'm not going bankrupt. I apologize. That wasn't the intent of that. I got way off track. Alright, so this is fun, but let's go get the car because I want to show off the wrap to you guys a little bit more. You got a good glimpse of it, but I want to show it more to you. And honestly, I just want to drive the car. This is part of my problem. This is why the miles keep getting racked up. It's because it's so much fun to drive. anytime the drone comes back in one piece, it's a success. Because so many times that hasn't happened. Let's put it away. Have a good day. Car looks so good here in the snow though. I definitely need to go get it washed, but I am still digging the camo. Absolutely love the design. It turned out so well. And what's cool is that there's no symmetry at all. So each sides of the car are so different. You know, of course, the wrap is specifically for the snowball rally, and the plan all along was to do the wrap, go on the snowball rally, get home and kind of take it off. But it looks so good that I'm not taking it off anytime soon. I love it. From every angle. There's just so many cool elements. All right, let's put this drone away. Now, I want to try to spin today's video back to the conversation that we were having earlier in regards to my finances associated with owning this car. Now, if you're a non-car person and you're watching this video, you're never gonna understand it because you don't understand the passion I have for this car. But if you love cars, whether it's a Lamborghini or you love Mustangs or Camaros or hot rods or lifted trucks, you get it, because all car people spend way too much money on cars. Now, if you're a non-car person, there's probably something in your life that you can correlate to what I am with cars. There's something in your life that you love so much that you spend so much more money on than anybody else. Well, that's what cars are for me. Like, I've dreamed of owning a car like this my whole life. And it's like, it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna set you guys down on the ski box. It also doubles as a tripod because I want to put my hands in my pocket and I don't want to. Anyways, okay, this car, the car is financed. That's right. I mean, the bank owns this car. That being said, I have the keys to it. I could go do donuts at any point on any day. So the bank does own it, but I guess I'm the caretaker. Whatever. So the thing about it, why is this car financed? Well, there's one main reason. Financing allows you to hop into a car that you couldn't usually hop into. Because when I bought this car, I paid $110,000 for it. I didn't have $110,000 in cash to do it. So it allowed me to jump into this car at a much sooner time. That being said, I'm around supercar owners all the time. I would say that 90 to 95% of them have their cars financed. And there's one main reason for that, and that is that financing is so cheap. My interest rate on this car is 2.99%. It's like free money. How could I not finance it? And there's a difference between, well, so let's back. So I have almost enough money in the bank that I could pay this car off. Very, very close. Now, there's one main reason I'm not doing that, and that is I need that money to invest into my business, which is YouTube, because I go on these trips, and when I go on these trips, I have to front the money to create these videos. But once it's all said and done, the videos, the money I make from the videos returns a higher rate of return than 2.99%. So from an investment standpoint, it wouldn't make sense to pay off this car because I can invest it in YouTube and return a higher rate of return than I am paying interest to the bank. So there's a lot of businesses, that same model. That's why most supercar owners have their cars financed. I know guys that have millions and millions of dollars in their bank and they have their cars financed because they can invest that capital at a higher rate of return than they're paying interest on their car. This video, I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not a financial guru. This is just what I do. I want to make that very clear. I'm not a motivational speaker. This is just what I've done. Now, there was one major key that allowed me to purchase this car, sort of the justification of it. That is, I have a YouTube channel, and I knew full well, I didn't just get lucky. I knew that this car would make my YouTube channel that much more interesting. A young guy who owns an orange Lamborghini is instant clickbait. I bet 90% of you guys found me because I own a Lamborghini. When I bought this car, I had 28,000 subscribers on September the 26th, 2015. Today, I have over 200,000. So obviously, all of those subscribers aren't necessarily because of this car, but a huge percentage of them are. Just like I said, if you want to be a YouTuber, you need a reason for people to want to watch you. before this car, I didn't have a reason. There was no reason for anybody to watch me other than that they were kind of cool cars. And I was forgettable. Society tells you there's these steps you have to follow in order to be successful from a financial standpoint. Well, the thing about it is society has changed so much since the internet, okay? When our parents were our age, life was completely different. There's so many more opportunities. I've figured out a way to own a Lamborghini and turn it into a business. Like that $4,000 I spent on maintenance, that's a tax write-off. This ski box is a tax write-off. Wrapping this car, the vinyl, the camera equipment, the drones, everything I do, the trips I go on, everything is a tax write-off. So I kind of laugh when these people like tell me I'm ruining my life. That's because they're not opening their eyes to the bigger picture of this world we live in. Like, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to inspire, because this isn't supposed to be a motivational speech, but you can do whatever you want, is my point. Like, there's so many cool ways to figure out how you want to get what you want in life. And for me, I've found it. Like, YouTube is fun. Like, this is a day at the office right now. I'm in like one of the most beautiful places in the world filming a YouTube video, talking to you guys who are awesome, and I get paid to do it. And I own a Lamborghini because of it. Now, that being said, YouTube is not a career for me. YouTube is not a job for me. I think of YouTube as an opportunity. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that if YouTube crashed and burned tomorrow, it would have been the right choice for me. And that's because of all the people that I've met because of it. I've met some of the most amazing people, crossed paths with some of the most amazing people I never would have met if it wasn't for YouTube. Because YouTube, I have 200,000 followers around the world. If I want to go to Australia, I got friends there. I got friends in Dubai. I got friends in Europe. I know supercar owners around the world that would give me a job if I really needed it. But at the end of the day, the coolest thing is that I've met some of these very, very wealthy individuals, guys who are worth a fortune, more money than I could ever imagine. Not only are they the nicest guys, but they've taught me so much about how the world works. I mean, these guys are geniuses, and I get to be around them all the time. It's awesome. Anyways, so I don't own a house. I don't. I chose to buy a Lamborghini instead, and that's the choice that I made. And if you don't like that choice, you don't have to make that choice for yourself. But for me, it seemed like the right choice for me, because the thing about a house is that, you know, it kind of ties you down to a certain area. I can't just leave for 6 weeks if I own a house. You know, like the lawn needs to be mowed. Here in the wintertime, the snow needs to be plowed. I have to pay property taxes, you know, home insurance. There's all sorts of things, you know, with a house that for the right person are great. But for me, it just doesn't fit my life as of right now. I'd rather have a Lamborghini. And you know, by being able to turn it into an investment, it makes sense. Now, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I wouldn't be able to justify this. There's absolutely no way. But I've found a loophole in society that's allowed me to buy my dream car, and it's awesome. Right, so I hope that kind of answered some of your questions in relation to the finances of owning a Lamborghini. You know, the other thing about YouTube, I've talked about it in previous vlogs before. YouTube has made me a stronger person. Back when I started the channel, I would listen to people, I would listen to the internet as to what I should do to my car. And now I just do what makes me happy, and this rap makes me happy. And polarization makes me happy too. You know, like, I know people don't like the car, but I'm happy, and that's really my main message. Do what makes you happy. Don't listen to the internet, especially. The internet is crazy, but you guys are also awesome at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, you know, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. But just like that, this vlog is over, and I'm out.